Are pleased to have Heather Jackson, our infection control expert from Lima Memorial, here with us to talk about hand hygiene. So Heather, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
All right, now hand hygiene is important to keep in mind. So can you start by explaining why hand hygiene is so important to preventing infections this time of year?
Sure. Hand hygiene is important all year, but especially as we have kids heading back to school and as the weather gets cooler. We have higher transmission rates of viruses like flu and colds when we're indoors more frequently and as the children are around each other for several hours a day. Flu and cold viruses are spread when we come into contact with them on surfaces or from hand-to-hand transfer. Hand hygiene is one of the best ways to prevent the spread of these illnesses.
Right. Now, you did mention school. So with school and work activities ramping up, what advice do you have for maintaining hand hygiene in those environments?
Well, we need to think about breaking that chain of infection. So that means how the germs are spread. So that starts with good hand hygiene using soap and water. Hand washing removes dirt, bacteria, and viruses, and that significantly reduces the chances of us transferring the germs to surfaces where we can pick them up on our hands, or others can do that as well. As adults, we need to model good hand hygiene for the kids and remind them to wash their hands before they eat, before they're touching their eyes, nose, or mouth, or handling food, and after using the restroom.
Yeah, so you mentioned soap and water. Many people use hand sanitizers when they're not near soap and water. So are those, is it as effective as hand washing?
Yes, as long as you're using one that's at least 60% alcohol and you're rubbing it in until it's dry, using the amount the manufacturer recommends. So one squirt, you want to rub it until your hands are dry.
Yeah, so what are some key hand washing tips that you might want to share with us before you leave us today?
Clean hands are safe hands, okay? Remember to wash your hands frequently, paying close attention to your thumbs, your fingertips, the space between your fingers, and under your fingernails. And then lastly, good hand hygiene habits will keep you on a path to good health. So if you're feeling under the weather, by all means, please give a call to one of our primary care providers.
All right, so we're going to have to keep washing our hands. Heather, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, don't go away because we have more when we return.